Quarterfinal round of the UK Healthcare Boys Basketball KHSAA Sweet 16 tournament. The winners of today's first quarterfinal game, the Bowling Green Purples, with head coach D.G. Sherrill, student athletes Deuce Bailey, Caden Carpenter, and Luke Isaac. Coach, comments, please.
Well, I think we just saw, man, that's a good basketball team we just had to beat. We had to do everything we could possibly do. They had us down just about all of regulation. We got 1 point lead there late in the fourth quarter, and we're lucky enough to kind of pull that thing out late. But hats off to Ashland. Xander's as good a player as I've gone against live. I've done this a long, long time. He does so much to get his teammates involved. But I tell you what, the other kids on that team really played well today. They played fast. We don't run across a lot of teams that play as fast as we want to play. They played as fast as we wanted to play. It was just about game-winning plays in that fourth quarter and that overtime, just trying to get stops and rebounds and do all the little things that you can try to win games. We didn't shoot a great percentage from three either. They were red hot early. I'm like, when's it going to stop? They just seemed like every time I turn around, they're banging another three on us. They're really hard to guard. So just really proud of these guys and the job they did today. Really proud of them.
Questions?
Right here in front.
Kind of got into it there. They had 10 threes, I think, through the first three quarters, and then kept them from making. Some of it's legs. So kind of, is there anything different there than the stretch you were doing?
I mean, we told our guys at halftime, 3 minutes, 4 minutes into this third quarter, we want their legs to be jelly. We want to, trying to guard all their action. Xander's he's a lot bigger than us. They got a couple of guys a little longer than us. So we don't want to guard all that action. I mean, you start breaking down some of these good teams, they got 12, 15 things they run offensively. So we just want to try to disrupt their offense as much as possible by picking them up full and making them have to handle it end to end. And so we always feel like we can get into some legs late in the game. We had to get into our legs today to get into it. So I thought they missed a couple of shots that in the first quarter and second quarter would have been, it wouldn't touch the rim. So we felt like we got that where we needed to. And then we had to get a couple of big rebounds. And then we mixed it up a little bit offensively where our personnel was. At last play, we put Deuce in the slip spot because, as you see, going to the rim, he's going to score that bucket or get fouled. 1, 2, that. So making that little adjustment, we got the bucket we needed to give us that momentum to kind of finish this thing out.
In the very back.
Luke, man, just kind of walk us through that steal and layup there that tied it up there at the end of regulation.
We were just kind of in like a run and gun situation down two. And I saw the trap. They were kind of loose with the ball, and I saw the ball come near, throwing it to Xander. And my first instincts were just go get the ball and go finish at the rim.
For the players, this game felt like if you guys ever got the lead, that it kind of changed things. Could you kind of sense that if you could get over that hump, that you were getting ready to go on one of those runs that maybe kind of put this thing away?
Yeah, 100%. We were all just trying to stay composed, stay together and not get, shaken up by the lead they had. We just want to stay together, and then if we stay together, keep our composure, we can keep chipping back at the lead and, get back on top.
For players, what was the message to you all at halftime? What was kind of the vibe in the locker room to go out and make that run and push it to overtime?
We were just telling each other the game's not over till the clock hits 0-0, even though we was down. We did have some little faces, but I was just telling my guys that game's not over till it hits 0-0. And then once we all locked in, when it hit 0-0, we got the great outcome.
DJ, it looked like your kids executed your game plan to perfection, but their coach pretty much did the same. Their kids pretty much did the same thing. Did you think, kind of like what Michael asked about, get one break, get a lead, a tie, something that you could turn into?
I mean, I don't want to. This is not. We're certainly not patting ourselves on the back, but I thought that the fans just got to watch a really good basketball game with both teams kind of executing offensively, both teams really getting after each other defensively. I will say this, I've been blessed to coach a long time. That's as good a bunch of guys that we just went against. They play hard. They play the game the right way. Their guys were, just a professional bunch. And hats off to them. It's a shame one of these teams had to lose, but I knew we played them early in the year, and I've known the Ashland guys for a long time, and they're a class act. But they brought a lot of stuff today that we had to guard. They brought a lot of action we had to guard, and we had to figure, you knew Xander was going to create all this stuff for his teammates, and ghost screens, double stagger screens, all this action that they just do a really good job of. And they got us a few times early on that stuff, but we just kind of we knew it was coming. But when you get a day to prepare, it's not like you have 2 or 3 days to prepare. And so they got us on some of it early, but our guys did a great job of adjusting. They stayed in the moment. We kept talking about we need 2 or 3 stops here to get it over. They stayed in the moment, and I think that was critical on us kind of being able to finish that right there at the end of that fourth quarter, get that thing to overtime. Then overtime, I felt like you really saw their legs. Their shots were short. Their lift wasn't as much on the shots. They were shooting jumpers. We were loading the lane up, and the shots weren't falling. We were able to get some big offensive rebounds and then some transition opportunities.
Final question right here.
DG, you've had a lot of good teams up here. You've been up here a lot, but as we've talked this year, I mean, you've said you're undersized, maybe a little bit under the radar. What's it mean to get this team to the final day of the season?
I mean, walk in this locker room right here, and you can understand what it means. These, you've got 5 seniors that have been here and played together since they were 6th graders. They won every conference championship they played in, all the way from 6th grade all the way through. We had Joe in there this year, and Joe's been a great addition to our group. And then we got a bunch of young guys that really do a great job of helping us prepare and run our scout teams for us. This group right here, I mean, nobody picked them. I mean, you guys, all you media fellows had somebody else up here, and so that's fine with us. Don't pick us. We'll just keep fighting and clawing and scratching. I think you were one of them, actually. So anyway, just to call you out there. But anyway, long story short, our guys, they stayed in the fight and they stayed committed. They know their character, and you can't measure hard. You can't measure hard, and they didn't quit, and they haven't quit. It's been 3 weeks now. They just haven't quit because, gosh, guys, we've had like a month off between games, and so it's hard to keep focused. They just didn't quit, and I think that shows their character and their heart.
Coach Sherrill, congratulations to you and the Bowling Green Purples. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it, guys.
Hey, we take this score sheet.
Yeah, take one back.
Pretty sure. Let me see them.
Red cap up in the defense area.
I'll just a score sheet. I said
All
score
right.
sheet.
I regret not doing it.
No, that's okay. No, this way, right here, buddy. Where's the
Say they want to bring another case, 28.
Yeah, they said they were. Yeah.
Yeah.